Hello everyone and welcome to Computer Tech TV. In this video I'll be going over some of the thermal tests that I did on the Lenovo ThinkPad T530. Now this laptop is not really made for gaming, it's more of a business type of laptop, so there was kind of no reason to run a bunch of gaming type of benchmarks and stuff like that. But I did run a few things that would hopefully let everybody know who would be buying this for a school or business type of application the type of thermal temperatures and stuff like that you can see and expect, and you can compare that to other laptops out there with similar performance specifications. The first test that I did was a battery charge test. Now obviously, this is something that most people don't think about, but depending on how you have this set up, if you have it on a bed or if you have it on a couch or somewhere, if this charger, the battery pack, gets really hot, that could be a safety hazard. So basically when I was charging at the ambient temperature, which was the same pretty much throughout all the testing, actually 28 degrees Celsius, the max temperature I observed on the battery itself was 32 degrees Celsius, and that was done with this little thing here you see on the right. It's just an indoor-outdoor thermometer, so not really sure how accurate it is, but I did my best. And then the charger itself, the little inverter that the two cords plug into that actually turns the house voltage into the laptop voltage, that actually hit 42 degrees Celsius is the hottest that I could observe over the whole thing. I checked a few different areas of it and let it go for a few minutes each time, but 42 degrees Celsius was the highest that I observed for that. Hard drive test was the next thing I did, because laptops obviously don't have a lot of cooling on the inside, so hard drives develop heat, which in turn can be very bad because a hard drive is one of the most sensitive components in the computer. And the average hard drive temperatures with the same 28 degree ambience was 35 degrees to 37 degrees Celsius, so obviously that's in the safe range. Max hard drive temperature that I saw throughout defragging, running a few different disk benchmarks, stuff like that, was 42 degrees Celsius, so that's still within, it's definitely not like the old days with some computers I remember having, even desktops where they had no fans or anything, the hard drive just sat there and baked. But nowadays this is a Samsung, I believe it is, 500 gigabyte, and if you're interested in any of the specifications, they'll all be listed in the description box below the video, so if you want to check that out. But it's a 500 gigabyte SATA 3 drive, I want to say, possibly SATA 2, but it runs really cool, which is good. Next thing I did was some CPU and internal component tests. Starting out, I wanted to do a baseline run, so I just got an idle of everything. I let the computer just sit there for like an hour or so with a 28 degree ambient. And the system was sitting at 42 degrees Celsius. CPU was 40 and 38 since it's a dual core with hyperthreading. The package was 42 degrees Celsius, hard drive was 35, and my little probe that I had coming out of the exhaust over here, which was measured for outdoor temperature, was 31 degrees Celsius. Next up was the game bench, few different little game benchmarks and heaven benchmark and stuff that I ran. System was 52, CPU was 53, 51. Package was 54, hard drive was 37, and the probe measuring the exhaust temperature was 40 degrees Celsius. Next was a multi-thread benchmark, which was W prime. I ran that quite a few different times. We had 56, 57, 56 for the CPU, package was 57, hard drive was 36, and the probe measured 41. And the last test that I did was OCCT 4.1.1, or 4.3.1, I'm sorry. And that was 62 on the system, CPU was 6262, package was 63, hard drive was 36, and the probe was 43, so that was obviously full load, hottest it was ever gonna be. And I ran several different tests, small FFTs, medium data set, large data set, everything like that, and the hottest actually was the small data set, stresses the internal CPU cache and all that more. And like I said, that's where I got my 6262 for the CPU. So overall, considering the package it was, and it does get warm when you're running tests like that on your lap, obviously. So if you're wondering about that, yes, it will get warm, but if you're just running internet and stuff like that, it didn't really feel too warm to me. And I would suggest getting a laptop cooler underneath something like this more than, definitely. They're only like 20 bucks. And it definitely would be good to protect your investment. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, all specifications will be listed below the video. Please comment, rate, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys soon.